cloth in the background gets a set down shadow, just anchored down. There's a very strong shadow from the book onto the bread. And I'm brush mixing between burnt umber and black. If it looks dirty, pick up more burnt umber. Or it just probably depends on what object you're on, because if it looks dirty, you need to pick up more of one or the other. So it might be a little bit of an experiment. But with the strong lights that we have and now the strong shadows that we're adding, it's going to definitely give the illusion of that path of light. I'm just using my big soft brushes to place and diffuse. And each of the shadows are going to have very, very blended edges, because even though we have a strong light source, it's far enough away that the edges will be blended. So initially the shadows are transparent. We can come back in and strengthen. I'm just checking to see if I have all the shadows in. Step one, of course. And now I can come back in. That was thin down black. Now I can come in with black that's opaque, going from lean to fat as we talked about before. And you really shouldn't be able to see, for example, where the bread ends and the basket begins. We want it to be that dark. Of course, it's never too late to add any other detail. But look how we now have just a very charming little still life in this area. If you need to make it darker, again, going with thicker, more opaque paint. But if you find that it makes a hole, your paint is too thin or your surface is saturated, so you have to allow it to dry, and then come back in and try it again. 3 value changes is the goal. It's always amazing what shadows do to a piece. Just amazing. Even cast a little bit of a shadow from the basket onto the fruit and the wine bottle, I guess. This looks a little dense on the edge, so just wiping back. And if any of the tile needs to be strengthened, I guess this is a good time for that as well, because you want this in and fairly finished before we do our final path of light illusion. Okay, let's move back to the face.